The Great New Deal, a not-quite fictional preview of future history, written by Mark Tredisum, narrated by David DeBerg. The Great New Deal, Prologue. On August 25, 1939, a delightful movie was released, The Wizard of Oz, featuring wonderfully colorful characters, great music, and imaginative drama. It was an adaptation from the great children's book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, by L. Frank Baum, 1900. The movie delivered strong messages about love, family, and home, and about the ability of small, weak, everyday folks to overcome their own fears and defeat evil tyrants. The audience was awed as the screen shifted from the black and white scenes of the real world to the vivid colors of the land of Oz, providing a metaphor of hope as it seemed the beginning of the end might be coming for the Great Depression in America. Viewers loved Judy Garland, Dorothy, Jack Haley, Tin Woodman, Bert Lahr, Cowardly Lion, Ray Bolger, Scarecrow, and the host of Munchkins. They reviled the evil witches of the West and East. That summer of 1939, Americans celebrated the improving conditions, but still wanted their government to focus on the continuing difficult economic conditions in America. There were worries about the possibility of another European war. The Japanese Empire had invaded China and was conducting a brutal war there. But American isolationists argued that the United States would not need to become involved, citing its geographic separation from the combatants. Many placed their faith in purported American military strength, not entirely supported by reality. Some misguided Americans were enamored with false views of the efficient German state or the workers' paradise of the communist Soviet Union. England and France thought they could avert a war through diplomacy, having signed the Munich Agreement with Germany in 1938. Meanwhile, Germany and the Soviet Union, Russia, had been building up their military forces. They had established totalitarian police states, oppressing their citizens through force, violence, fear, and propaganda. Both cast covetous eyes on neighboring nations and grabbed what they could. On August 23, 1939, Hitler and Stalin signed a deal with the devil, a non-aggression pact, not to attack each other in the next 10 years. The German invasion of Poland from the west began on September 1, 1939, and the Soviet Union invaded it from the east on September 17, 1939. The invaders carved up the spoils. England and France declared war on Germany, and the Second World War officially began. The Great New Deal pays homage to the 1939 movie. Fast forward 80-some years for a fictional story set in a familiar time when America is dealing with a pandemic, economic difficulties, and turmoil from social conflicts, and the Republic is threatened by socialists bent on totalitarian control. Dorothy is a nurse living in Joplin, Missouri with her husband Brian. They are living ordinary lives, focused on their jobs and raising their 12-year-old son, Rusty. Brian's parents live nearby in the small town of Spring City, Missouri. Their neighbors Leonard Lyon, a retired policeman, and Deputy Sheriff Tim Woodman have not yet been introduced to Dorothy or Brian. Solomon and Becky Vogelschuch, that's German for Scarecrow, have recently moved to Joplin from New Jersey. They are excited by the news that they are going to become parents in just a few months. Solomon serves as a nurse at the same hospital as Dorothy. These are the prototypical Americans who just want to live peaceful lives, pursue the American dream, and love their families and friends. Their hopes and dreams are at odds with the powerful big city elites who seek a socialist utopia ruled by technocrats, career politicians, and bureaucrats, where government is the only god. Unlimited riches and power are their dream. At long last, their progressive schemes look to be coming to fruition. None of these characters are aware of the real truth. Their plans and hopes are about to be shaken by the events recorded in Bible prophecies a couple thousand years before. The Great New Deal connects the events of today to the end times prophecy in the Bible. Which side will you choose in this great spiritual war? From the New Living Translation Bible, NLT, the Gospel of Mark, chapter 13, verses 32 to 33. The day of the Lord is coming. However, no one knows the day or hour when these things will happen, not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself. Only the Father knows. And since you don't know when that time will come, be on guard. Stay alert.